Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to crochet this half double crochet child's size hat. This hat should fit children ages approximately 2.5, 3 years old to about 10 years old. I like to do these hats for the older children, maybe 5 to 10 years old, with an I hook, and if I'm doing a smaller child, I'll use an H hook to make it just a little bit smaller. But so that's how I modify this size-wise to fit the same pattern to fit children from like 3 years old to 10, 11, 12 years old. Just depends on how big their heads are. Again, use the smaller size hook for a smaller size child, and let's get started. Here are the things you're going to need to make this hat. You're going to need a crochet hook. You can either use an H or an I. I'm using an I because I'm making this for an older child. A needle, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. And then the yarn I'm using, the sleeve has gone off of it, but I'm using I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. It's true. I love this yarn. So let's get started. Okay, first we're going to do is start out with a magic circle, and here is how I do my magic circles. I take the tail end of the yarn in one hand and the working yarn in the other, and I wrap the yarn around my finger, and then I wrap it around my thumb, and then I'm going to put my needle underneath this piece here and grab the yarn, pull it through, and secure it with one little chain. Now, if you need more detailed, I do have a video on my channel, and I'll try to post the link either below or somewhere in the video. So the first thing we're going to do is 8 half double crochets in the circle. So we're going to do 8 half double crochets. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to pull that tail and pull the ring closed. Okay. And then I'm going to slip stitch to join, and that's round 1. So we will slip stitch to join on every round. And I'm going to just join it with a slip stitch. The next row, we're going to do 2 half double crochets in every stitch for a total of 16. So I'm going to chain 1. That does not count as a stitch. I'm going to work into that first stitch. 2 half double crochets all the way around for a total of 16. So 1, 2, 2 in every stitch. And super easy. It's a half double crochet hat for a child. I'm doing this for a larger child, and super easy to do. So 2 half double crochets in every stitch. You should have a total of 16 stitches. And then slip stitch to join and chain 1. Okay, then the next row we're going to do is 3rd row, 1 half double crochet in the first stitch, 2 half double crochets in the next, and we'll repeat that pattern all the way around for a total of 24 stitches. So we're going to go into the first stitch and do 1 half double crochet, and then 2 in the next, then 1 in the next, and 2 in the next, 1, 2. So if you don't know how to do a half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn through, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So that was 1, and then 2 in the next. 1, 2, 1, and then 2, 1, and 2, 1, and 2, 1, 2, whoops, slipped, 1, and 2 in the last stitch. So you should have a total of 24 stitches. Now I've started taking and drawing the yarn through for the slip stitch by, instead of yarning over, yarning under, and I find that I have a little less of a seam when I pull the yarn from the underside instead of yarn over. So, but that's personal choice. You can do it whichever way you want. So we're going to do round 4. We're going to do 2 half double crochets and then an increase for a total of 32 stitches. So in the first stitch, we're doing a half double crochet, the next stitch, half double crochet, the next stitch, 2 half double crochets. I like to have a lot of yarn out ready to go. Then the next stitch is 1 in the next, one in the next, 1 in the next, and then 2 in the next. So you'll notice this is round 4. We're doing in multiples of 4. So we do 1, 2, and then 2 in the next equals 4, 3, 4. So that is kind of the magic of this increasing pattern for hats. For the row you're doing, you're working in the multiples of that number's row, with the increase being the 2. Okay, so does that make sense? So we're going to do 1 and then 1 in the next for 2, and then the last 2 in the same stitch, 3 and 4 for round 4. So you'll repeat that pattern all the way around and meet me at the other end. Okay, here we are at the end, 2 in that last stitch, and we're going to slip stitch to join. So like I said, I've been slipping in and then pulling the yarn through by yarning and grabbing it under and pulling it through. You can see my seam is almost impossible to see where I've started and ended my rounds. Okay, round 5. Round 5 is in increments of 5. Ta-da! So easy. We're going to do 3 half double crochets and then 1 increase for a total of 5 stitches. Okay, so here we go. 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the next stitch, whoops, 1 in the next stitch, and then 1 in the third stitch, and then 2 more in the next stitch for a total of 5. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so half double crochet, 1, 2, next one, 3, and then 2 in the next, 4 and 5. So easy. I'll meet you back at the end. You keep repeating this pattern of 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches and then 2 in the last to equal 5. Last stitch, 2 in the last stitch. We're going to insert our hook, slip stitch, drawing it under and finishing. Okay, so now we're on to round 6. So you guessed it, we're going to do this in increments of 6 stitches. So starting with the first stitch, we're going to do 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the next, and the next one as well, and in the 4th stitch. So that's 4, and then our increase in the last stitch makes 5 and 6. So easy way to remember that. We're on round 6. We're going to work in increments of 6, increasing in that actually 5th stitch to make 6. So 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, and then 2 in the next stitch, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 2 in that last stitch. Okay, continue with that pattern all the way around and I'll meet you back to at the end. Okay, so here I am in the last stitch and I'm going to increase in that last stitch. 1, 2, and slip stitch to join, yarn under and pull through. There you go. So so far we have this nice circle. We have one more row of increases, one more round of increases, and that one is going to be row 7, and we're going to do increments of 7 stitches. So we're going to have 5 half double crochets and then an increase in the next stitch. So chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the next stitch, 6, the second one, 7. So we're working in rounds, this round on increments of 7. So we'll do that again. I'll show you again. We're going to do 1, whoops. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the next, 6 in the second stitch, 7. So repeat that pattern around. I'll meet you back at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 more, 6, 7. Okay, this is the last stitch, 2 in the last stitch, and then we're going to insert our hook, draw the yarn through to slip stitch to join. Okay, so from here on out, you're not going to do any more increases. You're just going to put a half double crochet in each stitch around. You should have 56 stitches. I'm going to stop the video and you can pause here and then meet me at the end. I am going to change colors on this hat. So I'm going to work until round 15 and then I'll come back and show you how to change colors because I'm going to do the last 4 rows of this in a different color, just to show you how to change colors, and that's the hat that I'm making today. So meet you back here at the end of row 15. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, I have just come to the end of my 15th round and I'm going to switch colors. Now you don't have to switch colors. You can keep going and finish off with 19 rounds. But I want to switch colors for my last 4 rows. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start my slip stitch to join, draw the yarn through, and then I'm going to grab my second color yarn and finish pulling through with that color. So that is how I'm switching colors. There's a multitude of ways of doing this, but this is how I like to do it. So I just drew it through with the first color and then I finished by adding the second color. And then the other thing that I like to do is I like to carry this yarn, the ends, a little ways along here before I cut off my other color. So we're going to start round 16 with the new color. I'm going to chain 1, make sure that's pulled kind of snug. I'm going to go through that same stitch and I'm going to pick up the yarn from the other color and carry it along. Okay, so there's the first stitch. We're going to go in and do the second stitch. Again, I'm carrying along those ends and I keep it pulled, but don't pull too tight, just to keep that from bunching up in there. Okay, so then the next stitch and then another stitch, and I go along quite a little ways just because it saves me from having to sew in my tails later. So when I get about to here, then I usually like to go ahead and cut my tail. So I'm cutting the tail from the other yarn and cutting off the excess from starting the new color. So we're going to go ahead and work 4 more rows in this color and then I'll meet you back. Okay, now I'm at the last stitch. I'm going to insert my hook, draw through by pulling it under and slip stitch to join. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut off my yarn and pull it through. And then I'm going to use my yarn needle to weave in those ends. So we're going to pull this through into the needle. And this is how I do it. And then I'm just going to turn the hat inside out or go to the inside and put my yarn weave it through on the inside, if I can get it going here. I like to go under a few stitches on the one going one way. And then I will go back the other way. And then I feel like that's not going to come out, so then I snip it off. Okay, and then I have my tail in the inside still, and if you didn't sew that tail in or crochet that in while you were going around, you can just go ahead and hide the tail on the inside. And I like to kind of go around these stitches a few times, kind of along this inner circle here. Just so it's not going to come undone, and so it's hiding. So then I'm just going to snip that off, and there you go. You're all done with your child size half double crochet hat. I'm going to do another video real quick. I'll probably link it somewhere, either in the description, or I'll have a little button for you to click to show you how you can add ear flaps to your child size hat. Thank you for watching. I hope you will subscribe to my channel. Be beautiful on the inside and the outside, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.